everybody, it's Liz Lutz with Worldwide Wednesdays, and today I'm interviewing Gerald Enright of Remax Executive Homes in Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you so much, Gerald, for getting on the call. Just so you guys know, it's about a 13-hour difference
12.
from the US to Bangkok. So it's night where he's about to go to bed and I just got up. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure to be here.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get to Thailand? How long have you been in real estate? And kind of what markets you specialize in?
Okay. I'm Canadian. I originally came to Thailand working for U.S. government in IT. However, I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. I have several businesses. And one of those is the real estate business. Right now, it's my only business that I operate. So I came here about 20 years ago. The real estate business has been operating for about the entire time, 20 years. We focus historically on expat rentals, high-end expat rentals, and most recently foreign investors and looking after portfolios here in Thailand for our foreign friends.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to be talking to you because that's probably who we're going to be reaching here. So tell me about the market in Thailand. Give me kind of the lay of the land on how the market is there.
Okay. Like probably almost anywhere, it's a bit of a segmented market. I'm sure in the States you have areas where it's depressed and areas where it's elevated. So I think we are talking about two properties. One of them is in Bangkok, and that's called Park Origin, and the other is in a holiday destination, Phuket, and it's called Bang Thao Condotel. Yes. And so the market is quite solid. It's a buyer's market. There's a huge selection out there, but we don't see the depression in prices as we might see in other markets. I think basically due to the fact of the banks are not over lending and there's not a lot of leverage, therefore the markets remain buoyant. People would weather out any storms and not be selling off properties super cheap. So it's a good market, it's solid, and there's plenty of choice for an investor to find the right match for what they're looking for.
Awesome. So who is going to invest in Thailand now? Like who do you find that is investing in Bangkok and other cities surrounding that?
So I think we have a couple groups of investors. Most formidable in the last 5 years would be the Chinese. However, to currency restrictions implemented by their government, we're seeing a little bit subsiding from the pressure from the Chinese market. Historically, a lot of Scandinavians love to buy here because it's warm, so they come here in the winter. Europeans, UK, German, French are solid investors here. When I go to North America, I guess Canadians are not actually. Americans, yes, we find American property owners here. And then some Australians. The interesting part is the developing nations in Asia are also investing in Thailand. So we find very strong investment from Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore.
Okay, great. And what do you see the trends being right now as far as what they are buying when they do come?
Well, as a foreign buyer, you're limited in what you can buy without going through, very involved hoops and incorporations of companies.
Yeah,
so as a
in Thailand, correct?
I'm sorry?
You're not allowed to purchase land, correct?
Okay, that's correct. So basically, the rule of thumb is a foreigner cannot own land in Thailand, cannot own a piece of land. So you're pretty well restricted to buying a condo. That's the safest investment. The law has been passed, the Condo Act. I think it's 1997 it was passed. And it's a very secure investment. You're protected that way. So as a foreigner, you buy condos. That's your best investment. What did I want to say about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
with condos.
Yeah. To condos then. Now I understand. So tell me since we're there, just kind of walk me through the purchase process in Thailand. Who's involved and what does an investor need to know?
So if we look at the purchase, legality of a purchase, it's very, very simple for Thailand. The buyer and the seller, they walk into a government office, they sign papers, they pay the taxes, and it's done. It can be done in a matter of hours. When we talk about a foreigner, then there are certain additional requirements, mostly about the primary being that the money must be transferred, 100% of the money must be transferred from overseas into Thailand, and that must be proven to the land department when you go there to do the transfer. Other than that, the other thing that foreigner must buy within what they call foreign quota. So any one condo, 49% of the space can be bought by foreigners. So you just have to ensure that when you show up at the land office to transfer, that you're not exceeding this quota. That there's still remaining what they call remaining foreign quota to buy. Those would be the two legal things that you need to do. That said, you can also, if you're working with a developer, as in the projects that we're talking here, they will often have you do a power of attorney, and they will do the transfer for you. You don't even have to come if you don't want to. You can secure an investment, secure a property from abroad. Done. So what else would you need to know about that? Fairly straightforward. We've done foreign transactions. I think the hardest part really is making sure all the documents for the bank is correct. You don't have to hire a lawyer. It's not a requirement. We do recommend that you use a lawyer to protect your interests. We have one retained by RE/MAX that's very familiar with all the legislation surrounding foreigners. And the other thing is a good agent, because it's an unregulated market as far as agents are concerned. What happens is anybody who wants hangs out a shingle and says, I'm an agent. Their level of knowledge of the topics I just spoke about, the technicality of the money moving, the checking a foreign quota, preparing with the land office, you may get misinformation, and you want to be careful.
And that's why they have Gerald.
That's why they have Gerald. That's why RE/MAX is making some real inroads here, because we are certainly raising the bar in that respect. It's gone from a kind of, oh, I have a friend who's a friend and I'm going to help you buy a property, to a real professional agent. So we're happy to provide that service. And I can wholeheartedly recommend almost any RE/MAX office in that respect. Everyone's trained here. Even though the government doesn't have any certification, RE/MAX does.
Awesome. So tell me the difference, because we're promoting two properties for you, two developments, and one's a condo and one's a condotel, which is a really cool concept. And it's the first time I've ever heard of it when we started talking. So can you explain the difference between what a condo is and what a condotel is? Okay,
so I think condo, everyone understands what that is. It's a property that you own. You have a title deed. It gives you ownership of the condo, uses, fructus, and abuses in Canada. You can use it, you can misuse it, and you can sell it. In a condotel is more or less a managed property. So what's happening here is in these projects that we're suggesting, it's almost a pure investment kind of option. You will never live in it until maybe 20 years down the line. If it ever stops being a hotel, you may choose to live in it, or after a certain time. However, is a condo, you have a deed for that condo, you are the owner, and then it goes into a pool of rooms that is managed by a hotel operating company. And they generate revenue off this. So as they generate revenue, they do a revenue sharing. And in fact, it's not really revenue sharing. In this particular project that we're talking about in Bang Tao, what the developer more or less leases a room back from you at, for them, a discounted rate, and then they mark up and send it out, use it as a hotel room on a daily rate. So that's where they use a margin in between the monthly rate and the daily rate to pay the investors in this particular project, we're talking about a 9% net return, which is very nice kind of return. And that doesn't count the equity gains of the property over the time they use it as a hotel. So there's a contract, it runs for about, I think it's 10 years. And then you can opt to take over ownership, which means you get pretty well a free room, right? You get 9% for 10 years. At the end of 10 years, you've got all your money back, your investment back, and you own a free room somewhere exotic in Thailand.
I love that concept. I'm gonna.
I offer.
You pay for it. You get 9% for 10 years, and then you have a free room. I love it. I love that. So tell me, how does tourism affect the real estate market there? I've been to Bangkok. I love Bangkok. I think it's a great city. It's full of life, and I love going up and down the river. Tell me how tourism has affected the market in Thailand.
Well, certainly tourism is a major industry in Thailand. What I think is Bangkok and holiday destinations are two different animals in this respect. So people tend to fly into Bangkok and out to destinations. As a tourist, they don't spend a lot of time in Bangkok. They'll spend a few days, then go on to somewhere like Phuket or Samui or Chiang Mai, or hop back and forth. How does it affect the real estate market? There's a lot of people buying holiday rentals. So that's something like the Ban Thao. Some developers are offering guaranteed returns, much like Ban Thao. However, it's on a different model, and they're not really professional hotel operators. So if we're going to talk about the difference here, the people who would operate our project that we would propose would be professional operators bringing in tour groups, ensuring occupancy, whereas a developer overcharging you 7% to give you 7% back on some kind of guaranteed return. That's not the model that we're promoting. The model we promote is a revenue-based model. So I would say tourism in Bangkok is transitory. In other provinces, places like Pattaya, you get people running Airbnb, and when the majority of co-owners in a condo don't object, it's possible. The danger for anyone investing, you need to understand that daily rentals are not legal in Thailand, monthly are. So that's a distinction. A monthly rental is anyone can rent their condo for a month, and that's fine, a month at a time. Less than that becomes under the Hotel Act and gets a little bit shady. Now, some condos, they don't mind because they bought it. It's a holiday destination. You'll find this in places like Pattaya, where 80% of the owners are happy because this is the way they're gaining their revenue. But be aware, it's not guaranteed. The government could say tomorrow, sorry, we're not allowing you to do this, to operate as a hotel without a hotel license.
Yeah.
The project I just want to affirm, the project in Ban Thao does have a hotel license to operate as a hotel.
Okay, great. Okay, so the last question I want to ask is, what are some trends that you see right now that are going to affect the future of purchasing in Thailand?
I think there's a number of economic things that are going on right now in Thailand. Probably first and foremost, I would say, in my opinion, is the governments are looking at holding elections, which if people go back far enough in their memory, you may remember that there was a coup in Thailand, the military took over, and they're still in power today. However, we're looking at elections sometime this year, we're hoping, and I think although the military control is not a bad solution for the situation at that time, I think a lot of investors feel more comfortable in a democracy and elected government. So I do see, and my prediction is that we'll see a resurgence in investment, new confidence. I also know that in the rental markets where we function, a lot of our customers are corporate clients, and they, when I talk to them, we have dinner with them or whatever, and they're kind of saying, yeah, we'd like to invest, we want to grow in Thailand, but we really want to see this thing resolved with an unelected government. So there is also within Bangkok, this waiting by big companies to actually start executing some of their plans. They're fading out of China. Actually, a lot of companies are having trouble in China, and Thailand is a landing base for those big companies. So I see new corporate investment. I see government elections. I would also say there's some mega projects going on. There's a high-speed train being built from China down through Malaysia and across through India. So that will touch on Thailand, bringing a huge amount of ability to move from country to country. And also just holiday properties, like from Bangkok to where we own a property in Cha'am or Ho Hin. Today it takes about 2 hours. It will be cut to about 40 minutes on a high-speed train. So there's a lot of these things going on, a lot of development in Bangkok. They're building a super tower, which will host a whole bunch of businesses. So there are a lot of infrastructure projects, a lot of investment going on. It certainly is a growing economy. And to me, I think it's going ahead with the brakes on. And when elections come along, the brakes will come off. And you'll see a great resurgence in not only property investment, that's just a sidebar really in business.
Do you have a timeline on that? Or is there a timeline?
I think the elections, they're looking, elections in February? I'm getting close.
Oh, wow.
They say in February, but I can't see how, right now they're just listing the bans on political activism or whatever, political meetings, what they call it. So I can't imagine that you can execute an election within 30 days.
Yeah,
I would
that
say
sounds really aggressive.
that doesn't sound reasonable to me. Yeah. So I would think probably February would be the time that they could begin campaigning.
Okay.
And probably I would look mid, Q2 to Q3.
Yeah.
For elections.
Okay, great.
This coming year.
So by now, that's what we're saying.
Well, by now, I think it's, as I said, it's an engine running with the brakes on. So by now is probably good. I just checked the US dollar and you're up 5% from a couple of days ago. So, hey.
Hey, let's do it. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being on with me, and have a wonderful evening and a night's sleep. And we will be in touch about the properties as we have different buyers for the condotel and the condo project that we have.
Sure. And, between yourself and myself, I'm sure we can answer any questions that people have, and more information is available. We can only fit in.
Yes.
So much in a segment on the video, right?
Awesome. Well, you're a great partner, Gerald. It's always a pleasure. And I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.
You too.
Okay.